This is the all-new third generation 2016 Honda Pilot. Now the Acura division under Honda has the MDX, that's their third row SUV, and this vehicle shares the same platform, and it too has lost a lot of weight, roughly around 135 kilograms, even though it's 9 centimeters longer. That gives you much more room for big back doors and more cargo space even when the third row of seats is up. Now you have to hand it to Honda, they got rid of that basically cube on wheels that they had with the old model and have upgraded it to look much more dynamic. The LED marker lights that you see on the Pilot are only available on the one trim up from the base model, and if you want the LED projector headlamps, you have to get this top touring model. 18-inch wheels come as standard equipment. If you want to get the top 20-inch wheels that you see here, once again, you have to get the touring. If you want to get the power tailgate around the back, that's going to cost around $45,000 to get the EXL. So a lot of the nice tasty features that are in the Pilot are kept at the higher trim levels, getting you to spend more of your money. Now, one nice thing about getting in and out of this product is the fact that you have now a bigger door to access the second and third row of seats. They've stolen something from the MDX, and that's a button on the side of the captain's chairs that slides and folds them forward with one touch, making it much easier to get in and out of the back. That too is on the $45,000 EXL, once again getting you to spend more of your money. So not a bad looking product on the outside, way better than the previous Pilot. Inside, there's some frustrating changes that seem to be there just for change's sake. All right, let's get into what's good about the Pilot and things that are a bit frustrating. First of all, this vehicle is bigger. And because this vehicle is 9 centimeters longer than the previous version, you get more cargo space, you get more leg room, and you get more space, especially when that third row of seats is up. Now, speaking of behind the third row of seats, the one thing I like about this product is it has a removable false floor, which gives you a deep kind of trough there and lots of capability to store things. That's one of the problems with these crossover vehicles, is when you need to have all of the passengers on the inside, it really limits the amount of cargo space that you can have. So really think about if you're going to use this all the time or occasionally. The nice thing is when that third row of seats is down, it's a massive cargo space if you're taking just 4 or 5 passengers. Also, the materials that they used on the inside of the cabin are much better than they previously were. Soft touch materials on the dash. Now, one thing I really like that they've done is they've gone to a single screen here on the dashboard. You've seen with Acura and Honda products over the last couple of years, they're going to a 2-screen system, which I don't really like. I prefer the single screen. It's easier to use. Now, unfortunately with this, you don't have a volume button. No volume button. You have to use the button on the steering wheel, or you have to do a touch screen system, and that's horrible for changing the volume, especially for the passenger. You can't reach over and turn it down. But what you also have in the center of the 2 seats is a much better storage area with a massive storage bin, 2 big cup holders, and you'll notice right away on this model you get the electronic shifter for the 9-speed automatic transmission, which begs the question, if you're going to go to an electronic switch here for the transmission, why do you make it so big? I like the way Mercedes-Benz has done it. They put the shifter on the column, kind of like we used to with the shifters like that, and that frees up all of the space in the center of the console here. But having that push-button transmission there, I call it the answer to the question nobody asked. Are we really looking for this? I don't think so. So why don't they move that somewhere else? Why don't they give us a knob for the radio and move the push-button start somewhere else? Anyway, these are small things that are a bit frustrating. Then you get into what you need to spend in order to get the features that you want. I really truly believe that Honda wants to sell you the EXL. That's the EX with the leather interior, but that's not cheap. That's roughly $45,000. And what you get with the EXL is the things that you want. The power tailgate. You have to get EXL in order to get satellite radio. That seems kind of crazy to me. Front and rear park assist for a big vehicle like this, definitely. The leather seats with the leather wrapped steering wheel. To get that push button seat in the second row, you need to get the EXL. And if you want heated seats in the second row, you need to get the EXL along with the satellite system that's available in this product. So all of that, you need to splash out almost 45 grand in order to get all of the features that I would really want in a vehicle of this size. All right, I'm going to run through what's good about this new Pilot before I get to the main issue I have with this vehicle. First of all, 280 horsepower from a 3.5-liter V6 engine, direct injection technology, has cylinder management, which means it can switch off some of the cylinders to save fuel when you're driving along. It's a high-tech engine, 280 horsepower. Now, you can get it with either a 6-speed automatic transmission and front-wheel drive. The front-wheel drive's only on the base model. All the other models come with all-wheel drive. Or if you get the top-of-the-line Touring, it comes with a 9-speed automatic transmission. And here's the problem I have with this vehicle. The 9-speed automatic transmission is a ZF box. It's the same box that's used by many other manufacturers. Jeep has it in the Cherokee. Land Rover has it in the new Discovery Sport. It's used across the industry. But the way that it's tuned in this vehicle is really choppy. When you take off from a light, it almost feels like the engine is lagging behind because it has to get through first gear, which is really quite short. It's only really in stop-and-go city traffic where the problems with this 9-speed box rear its head. When you get it out on the open road and you're in the higher gears, you really don't notice that there's anything at play. But I really can't recommend, first of all, because of the push-button design, and also because of the way this transmission works in slow speeds. And you would think, why would they put a 9-speed box in on the top trim level and all the others get a 6-speed? It's got to be because it's much more efficient. Well, it isn't. On the highway, it gets exactly the same fuel economy at 9.3 liters per 100 kilometers. In the city, it's only marginally better. The 6-speed automatic gets 13 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, and this 9-speed box is 12.4, so it's just fractionally better. The way to get around this, to make it feel better, is you push the S button. That changes it to Sport, and that makes the vehicle much more dynamic and actually makes the 9-speed much more usable. But when you're using the Sport, you're obviously using more fuel. Now, remember I mentioned that they really want to sell you that EX? That's because that's where you get all the advanced safety features as standard equipment. On the EX, that starts at $41,000. You get the forward collision braking system, the forward collision mitigation system, you get the lane departure warning, and you get the road departure system, which actually steers the vehicle back on. So that's on the EX and above at $41,000. If you get this top-of-the-line Touring, you also get the blind spot warning system and the multi-rear camera with the cross-path alert. So that's all good stuff that Honda is providing in this vehicle. So I like the way it drives when you're out on the open road. At lower speeds, the 9-speed automatic transmission, I just don't understand. Why are they putting this in here when it's not really giving you any improvement in fuel economy? And if it is, it's marginal. Now, Honda isn't the cheapest in this 3-row SUV game. The other direct competitors from Japan, the Pathfinder, starts around $32,000, the Highlander around $33,000, and this one around $35,000. If you get the top-of-the-line Touring that you see here, it's over $50,000. And this is the one that I would skip on, mostly because of the 9-speed automatic transmission. The MDX starts at $51,000, so if you're going to the top-of-the-line Touring, have a look at the MDX instead. Changes I do appreciate: much better styling on the outside, much better quality of materials on the inside, roomier cabin, better fuel efficiency. I love the head unit, except it doesn't have a volume knob, and all of the advanced safety features that Honda makes available on many of the trim levels, definitely welcomed by most consumers. Don't get this top Touring model. Wait until they reprogram the 9-speed automatic transmission, because the way it sits right now, I can't really get behind it. I'd like to try this 6-speed, and if it was me, that's the one that I would choose if you're in the market for a Pilot.